Real estate investing's most valuable secret is hidden within the game of Monopoly. Let me explain. Most people that play Monopoly want their first Monopoly to be the most expensive pieces on the board. And they want this because when they have hotels on these properties, they bring in more rent than any of the other Monopolies on the board. The problem with this is that those pieces cost so much money and it takes so much capital to build hotels. So it takes a very long time to get to that point where you're finally bringing in a bunch of rent and you have a chance of winning the game. Whereas the cheapest properties, the browns and the light blues, can have hotels on them for a lot less money, meaning you can buy them a lot sooner, which allows you to get huge amounts of cash flow early on in the game, and that gives you a lot more power for the rest of your Monopoly life. Anyway, this isn't a video about game mechanics. This is a video about scale. The light brown properties and the light blue properties symbolize those markets with very low cost properties that have high cash flow. You can compare them to places like Jackson, Mississippi, St. Louis, Missouri, places in Oklahoma, places in Indiana, maybe Columbus, Georgia, areas where you can still hit that 1.5 to 2% rule as opposed to the 1% rule or less. Areas like this allow you to invest a very small amount of money, recapture it within a few months, make steady cash flow, and scale over and over and over again. High cash flow markets like Jackson, Mississippi allow you to take investments of $75,000 and turn that investment into a portfolio of 10 houses within the space of a year and get your $75,000 back as long as you're properly using the BRRRR method. Let me explain. Let's say you bought this house for $75,000. This house is currently rented to a Section 8 tenant for a little over $1,530. Now, it was sold for $75,000. I know it was sold for $75,000 because I was the one that actually sold it for $75,000, and I still manage it through a master lease to this day. This particular property would also appraise for well over $100,000. But let's just say it only appraised for $100,000. There are lots of local banks out here that will gladly give a loan for 75% of the value of this house. So even if it only appraised for 100 and not the 130 or 140 that it probably would in all actuality, the person that bought this property could still get their $75,000 back, get cash flow every single month, get write-offs for depreciation, taxes, insurance, while the renters are paying down the mortgage and building his equity, and while he's taking that same $75,000 and buying his next property. So the moral of the story is don't pass over those smaller, cheaper properties with high cash flow. See you guys in the next video. And guys, if you want to learn more about real estate investing and you want to talk to me personally, reach out to me at jesse@dominatethedeal.com. That's jesse@dominatethedeal.com.